This is Mike Dorothy, Early Bears special. Michael, how are you, my friend?
I couldn't be better, Aldo. Everything's going good. I can't complain about anything. You and I were talking about a future project. We're all excited about that. You know, it's never been abandoned, but it has been stalled because of other things, but that are pertinent to American life, like COVID and everything else that happened. But we're back and we're running and we're doing good. And last week, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what I did. I couldn't find my sheet. I think I was under 500. I'll be honest about that. But who else in America picked the money line and the Bears? Who else? One of the most trending, it was trending during the week because of the nonsense that I heard before that during the week, that we're expected to lose, that we're not supposed to win, that things are supposed to go awry, that we're very young. What's up, Laz? And that basically the nonsense that I hear from the national TV crews, and it just makes me ill. The people that think they know the game, that basically gave me a week-long version of what was wrong with the Patriots and not what was right about the Bears.
Oh, I love it.
I mean, what the hell is this? The Patriots are done. They're done as an ultimate football power. Because the guy, he was like a goose. He flew to Florida. That was it. He's not going to be done. Okay? But the Patriots are done. As an entity, as far as the 49ers and the Bears and the Giants of the 80s. The Patriots had a great run. Quit fooling yourselves. Quit fooling yourselves. It's over. The Bears exposed them. Okay? Mac Jones is a fraidy cat when he goes back there now because he's been hurt badly a couple times. I know a scared quarterback when I see it. Check Tony Eason. Super Bowl 1986. Scared quarterback. The same thing goes for Mac Jones. Now, he may make a liar out of me today, but I do know this. I saw him play against the Ravens, scared. I saw him play against the Bears, scared. Throwing the ball. They're trying to say he tried to throw that ball out of bounds. Why are you throwing a 50-yard pass out of bounds? Just throw it out of bounds.
Yeah.
Everybody tries to cover for everybody's ills. The Patriots are done, and the Bears are up and coming. This is very simple. I mean, they will be good in a couple years because we have a hell of a coaching staff, and I've been saying that. And you know what? Everybody says, Mike, why the change? Why? Because I didn't like any coaching staff since Ditka. I was right about them all. So the changes, I see game planning. I see thought. I see guys getting better. I see this nonsense that there's no offense. Everybody says that Justin Fields doesn't have enough around him. I go the other way. Maybe they don't have a quarterback, enough of a quarterback to get the ball to him until we saw what he did last week. Do what you got to do, kid. You're tough. You don't like to lose, and you've gotten my respect for that. Did I want you? No. But now you see this shirt? I don't like doubters. I never did. People doubted me my whole life. And I'm telling you now, I've sort of latched on to this Bear team, Aldo, because I see a team that's playing hard for a coaching staff. I see a team that's getting better. I see an offense. Was thrilled to hear Getsy say we're copying a lot. Well, I don't know if it was Getsy, but somebody saying we're playing the Ravens playbook. Couldn't be happier. Be the mini Lamar Jackson. You're never going to be the main one. Maybe you will. But I like where we're going.
Mike, great. I really love the way you opened up the show and talking about this Bears team and how they're growing. You have been talking about this coaching staff for weeks now. They really are very good at what they do. Not to say that they haven't made rookie mistakes, because just about all of them are rookies. You got a rookie head coach, you got a rookie offensive coordinator, you got a rookie defensive coordinator. I think the special teams coordinator is a rookie too. So they've been growing into their job. But boy, oh boy, they came in with a philosophy, this whole hits thing, and people can call it hokey or whatever, but it's working. These guys are playing hard. Now, my question for you is, that something dramatic happened this week? They traded, the Bears traded Robert Quinn. Do you think this is going to adversely affect the morale in the team, and it could impact their play in Dallas?
I gave Ryan Poles an incomplete last week. You asked me, how would you put Ryan Poles? And I told you, people go, how do you get this recall, Mike? And quite frankly, I have no idea. But I remember what Eldo asked me all the time. I keep track of things. I keep track of all the media people in this town that are nothing but saps that keep falling for every person in the Sun Times. 6, 7 astute observers, you know, they have like a turn back the clock. They have an 80s party, and these people show up in the suits they actually interviewed for with the Sun Times in the 80s. That's how long they've been there. Okay. And they're wrong all the time. And I heard them, and I saw them all pick the Patriots. And I saw most of them say they weren't going to cover. And I said, boy, you're not paying attention. But when have they? Okay. They got a friendly management that keeps them all around. What can I tell you? Okay. That's fine. But I'm going to call you on it when you're wrong. And everybody in Chicago had the Bears losing that game. And it's like nobody learned a lesson, including Ryan Poles. He gets a D. You win a big football game. You win a football game like that. You beat New England on the road, and you embarrass maybe the greatest coach in history. And you decide to trade Robert Quinn. And the next thing I see, it's sort of like the greatest day of my life on Monday and Tuesday turned into just where everybody puts the waste for their dogs by getting rid of Quinn. And Ryan Poles showed me how young he really was by cutting this deal. This deal just didn't happen yesterday. Getting this deal ready before they even played New England. No doubt about it. It happened too quickly. It happened too quickly. So you take that day, Monday, and we're flying high Tuesday, and I read that dog crap, and what do? We're paying his salary on top of it? Let me get this straight. And then I kept hearing, oh, it's for the future. It's for the future. Future. One guy, my good friend Mark Carmen. The trade's pretty good, but maybe in perfect timing. Then it's not a. Then it's not. Don't. You made Robert this Tuesday. You couldn't wait a week? What happens if we beat Dallas? And don't tell me we ain't going to beat Dallas, because y'all told me we were going to lose to New England. See, I got cred this week. I may not have cred with you all the time, but I've had cred. I called the coaching staff. I called the win. You wait. You tell the Eagles we're not going to make you better in our own conference. We're going to wait a week, because if we beat Dallas, now we're 4-4. As it is now, we should be 4-3, but we're not. But we're tied for the third wild card spot. What are you doing? And I don't know. I don't listen to AM 1000 during the week that much. I'm busy. I don't listen to the other sports stations around the country unless I'm in my car. Now, I'll listen to AM 1000 in the car. I'll listen to Mad Dog Ray. I'll listen to this. I'll listen. There wasn't a whole lot of outrage about the Quinn deal. What are you people watching? You're playing his former team. You don't think he's fired up for this? So that was complete an amateur junior executive move who had an incomplete for me last week and now gets a D for timing. What happens if Quinn gets 3 sacks this week? Then maybe they pay a salary. Maybe we get a better draft pick. We got air. For Robert Quinn, hey, he may not have the 19 sacks he had last year. He made a couple big plays in this past game, and nobody was running by him. Nobody's running over Robert Quinn. He stabilized that side. Mm-hmm. I want Bear fans to learn the game. I've been trying so hard for 30 years. Learn the game. Don't go by the hype. I think the Bears can beat Dallas today. I think the Bears can beat Dallas today. But Dak Prescott? Whoop-de-doo. Come on. Bring it on. Bring it on. But don't go trading our pieces when we're in the middle of something. Oh, it's for the future. Shut the fuck up. All of you. Excuse the language. I've had it. The losing mentality in this damn city where we just give up people. I didn't want Hap gone. I did not want Contreras gone. And I've heard from people, yeah, Yeah, Jed Hoyer saw the video. He saw the video. I heard that. And he didn't do it. And we almost ended up, we put something together. And I don't know if they're going to get rid of Contreras. I hope they don't. But they listened. And I would have strongly said, no, we'll hold the trade. Now, if the Bears lose, they're 3-5. You want to entertain it? Go ahead. But this is nonsense. We could be 4-4 after today in the middle of it, and Minnesota might lose. And Green Bay's weak, and Detroit stinks. What are we doing?
It's a great question, Mike. And as a life, I mean, I've been following.
Sorry about the F word, but I know it's Sunday. But, you know, I just had enough of the losing mentality, giving away good players. I've had enough.
Mm-hmm. I was talking to B before we came on the air, and she asked me, how long have you been a Chicago sports fan? I told her since 1968. I'm very similar to Mike. Mike's been a longer Chicago sports fan than me, but Mike and I have had so many similar life experiences when it comes to Chicago sports teams. The frustration, the anger, the incompetence over a management. You were the one that pointed out to me about Jerry Reinsdorf being happy with second place. And since then, I've reviewed that, and you're right. There's example after example of him being happy with second place so he can keep his payroll down. And so these recent transactions by Chicago sports management have me saying, oh, holy F too, man. It's unbelievably frustrating.
I don't understand the hurry. I don't understand paying his salary.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand even now getting only a fourth pick for one of the dominant defensive ends last year. And I saw Eldo today, good-natured Eldo, tweeting out his Butkus jersey. He's right. I only had a couple jerseys, folks, in my whole life. I stopped doing that when I was 15. But I had Sayers and Butkus. They weren't going anywhere, okay? That was a good buy. Okay. I still got the Butkus jersey hanging in my damn basement here. The long sleeve one.
I love it.
But he had the Mac jersey, the Quinn jersey. That's not on the fans who buy the jerseys. That's on the knuckleheads up there in the front office. Who's dumber? The fan that buys the jersey or the team that gives somebody $140 million? And with that kind of money, you think you're going to have that jersey pertinent for 5 years, at least. No, it doesn't happen that way now. And the Robert Quinn thing was unnecessary. You can wait a week, son. You can wait a week, Ryan. I like Ryan Poles. I want to like him. But what are you doing?
Yeah. And what bugs me too about that transaction is just like you said, to only get a fourth round pick, to me, seems like you perhaps may have been out negotiated. It's the same thing with Khalil Mack. Khalil Mack right now has 5 or 6 sacks with the Chargers. What did we get for Khalil Mack? We got a second round pick and a 6th round pick, where last year Von Miller was traded for a 2nd and a 3rd, if I remember correctly. Why is it that these other teams are getting higher returns on these trades of premier pass rushers?
We give Chris Sale to Boston, they win the World Series the next year. We give Robert Quinn to Philadelphia, that makes him a better team.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he'll be happy to play against his old team, the Dallas Cowboys with Philly. I wanted it for the Bears.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted that kind of locker room presence. And you know what? Let's shut up about the rebuild crap. Okay? Shut up about it. They got you like this. They're believing us again. I'm a fishing boat. And you know who else? All the guys at the Trip of the Sun Times. Yeah. Guys on the beat for 30 years. I got a whale. You know who was rebuilding this year? You know who was rebuilding this year?
Every Chicago sports team.
You know who was rebuilding this year? Till they weren't? Seattle, Atlanta, the Giants, the Jets. The Texans. Oh, these teams are going to be the worst in football. There's no chance for them. There's none. Atlanta might be the worst in football. How about you, Greeny? Well, I think Seattle may be the worst in football. Over to you, Orflowski. Well, I got to tell you, there's no doubt in my mind that the Jets are just going to be absolutely putrid. How about you, Rex? Well, I got to tell you, I like them Giants. You know, they're going to suck too. No, you stop rebuilding when you win. That's why the Bears and Poles didn't want the rebuilding edge to go away. Oh, he's not my guy, so let's trade him for nobody and pay his salary. Stupid, foolish executive decision. Because you rebuild until you win. And they were going to be in a rebuild mode. I heard Pete Carroll was the worst coach in football. I heard Russell Wilson was going to kick everybody's butt. Guess what? There's no rebuild in Seattle right now. And that's the way it should have been for the Bears. And I think we could still beat this damn Dallas team or keep it close if our guys on the flank who are taking over for Quinn, whoever they are, whoever they are, it might be Richard Dent for all I know. Come on back out. Whoever they are, hold your own. That's all we want you to do. Quinn wasn't the reason we lost, but he wasn't the reason we won either. He was a nice neutral piece. I think that should do it for today, don't you? I'll see you.
Yeah, let's go. A lot of people in the chat room agree with your take. There are a couple of people who are saying things like Laz and Travis, for instance. Travis is saying Quinn wasn't making much of an impact anyway. Let the young dogs eat.
Let them eat next week. See what happens this week.
Exactly.
Let them eat next week.
Yeah,
young kids. Robert Quinn's an established NFL defensive end.
Yeah.
And we have a shot at this division. This division. If Arizona could pull one out today, we're too bad if we beat Dallas. But now, Roquan Smith is up there crying. Yeah, I think we can beat Dallas, but you trade it around. I mean, first of all, my NFL heroes, two things. With my NFL heroes, two things were required. They didn't cry, and they didn't wear earrings. Okay? Gale Sayers didn't wear an earring, and Butkus ain't crying.
Butkus made other people cry.
Right. But that tells you the bad timing. And those guys love that guy. It would be like the Cubs trading Jason Hayward. Okay? Maybe that 16 don't happen. That clubhouse presence. Average ball player. So what? You need clubhouse leaders.
Yeah. That's what I totally agree with you. And this guy may not have had the numbers. He had 18 sacks last season. He's only got one this season, but he was.
But you know what, Aldo? Let me just go over this. Stats are overrated sometimes.
Yeah, I agree.
Because I didn't see a whole lot of yardage being chunked up on his side on running plays.
Yes, great point.
I didn't see passes in the flank on running plays. I saw him hurry. I saw him pressure. Okay? You're not going to get to him all the time. The year before, he had nothing. He won me over the next year. And this year, his solid play and not losing containment. You know what I see all weekend? Fake to the left, the whole team moves. Robert Quinn wasn't moving. The new guys will be moving.
That's a great point.
Just wait. What? The trade deadline's Tuesday. You already set it up, kid. So you felt like you had to go through with it. You didn't give them one more week for playing the game of their lives. The best game I've seen in 10 years by the Chicago Bears.
Luis agrees with you. Basically, he's saying, keep them, don't give them away. Saludos, papi.
I just look, give them away this week. It showed his inexperience by having the deal set. Believe me, folks, it took me 9 months to do. It takes forever to do contracts. It takes forever to do. You know this, Aldo. Even in our business. I mean, my God, this was not. Hey, you want to make a trade? Yeah, see it. This was working, and he didn't put the halt on it, like a smart GM would have.
Yeah,
But
yeah. I'm with you. Does it bother you a lot that Ryan Poles not that he thanked Ian Cunningham, his assistant general manager, but that he delegated the trade negotiations to Cunningham, who was a member of the Philadelphia Eagles? My immediate feeling was maybe the teacher, Howard Roseman, took advantage of the student, Ian Cunningham.
Maybe Ian Cunningham wanted to help Howie up for giving him the opportunity. But that's not the way to run a winning football team.
I agree.
That's not the way that a general manager does his job.
Yeah.
And Ryan Poles should have been in the middle of this.
Yeah.
Okay. Now all of a sudden, it's not the Bear hierarchy not interfering anymore. We have a GM. We hired you for a reason. And you're giving it to somebody else who has Eagle ties. I don't like it. Didn't like the timing. I didn't know that till now. We don't prepare for the show, and I try to read everything I can, but that makes me sick.
Yeah,
that just lends to the bull crap to me.
Mm-hmm. Stephen Me is a naysayer. He says we have a shot at the division. We ain't winning a Super Bowl. Beating teams like the Chiefs or Bills will murder us. Embrace the rebuild and build from the draft. We have picks now, unlike previous.
Well, Steven's got the right last name. Me. I. You don't look like you're very astute. You don't know, because you're the same dummy that probably had Seattle in last place. You're the same idiot that probably had the Falcons in last place. You're the same moron that probably had New England beating the Bears. You probably have a burner account. You people can't even talk to me straight up. You know, you can't every day. Oh, Mike, you're crazy. And then I look, and the last tweet was like October 13th, 2015. You know what I mean? Yeah, I got to put Insta blocks on 15 people a day because you don't have the balls to talk educated football with me. I don't play that game. Ryan Poles completely blew this whole thing. And it's a little thing right now. But if the Bears win today, good. I'll be happy. But somebody said this is going to help change the Bears. A 4th-round pick? What is wrong? Who's been talking to you people for the last decade? Who's been talking to Bear fans? The same people have been talking to Bear fans for 30 years. Think I'm still around because I agree with all them idiots? Please.
Well, I think we know how Mike feels about Stephen Me. That's hilarious. All right. Hey. Love it. Okay, hey, there's a game.
Oh, by the way, Steven, thanks for tuning in, though. We love you.
We love Steven.
I just disagree with you.
He's got a wicked sense of humor.
If you're the guy that goes for the job interview going, I'm not going to get it, period.
This is his response to you. I love Mike's passion, but how many years are we going to go into a draft with 0 first-rounders because we traded them away? A 4th, I know, isn't shit, but Quinn wasn't Richard Dent.
How many years did Dent have 19 sacks? I'd be anxious to find that out. Maybe Aldo could look that up.
That would be 0.
Robert Quinn, he might have 1 or 2 because Dent was good. He took plays off like a lot of guys do, but Robert Quinn is a stellar professional football player with clubhouse presence and leadership.
Yeah. All right.
So, Steven, go back to the kids' table. It's right by the dining room there. Watch your Aunt Edna. She's bringing it. You guys get smaller portions. Thank you, Steven.
I love this. This is the Barroom Network. We get straight talk here 24.
Oh, and by the way, we appreciate everybody tuning in. Pass the word. Spotify, Mortify, Hyundai, Bears Barroom, whatever platform you're on. AM 1000. Check us out there with the odds couple, the greatest damn terrestrial. I mean, I was 3-0 again this week. I got Houston today playing Tennessee. Although I wasn't happy to see, I paid the pick before Tannehill was neck up, but I'm 3-0. Last week I was 6-2 on AM 1000. So just tune into all the vehicles, see what you got to do. We're going to keep track. I don't know. Now, Aldo, what were you last week? Do you remember?
I was, I wrote it down actually. I was 2-1. I was wrong on Derrick Henry scoring a touchdown. I was right on the over with the Jets Giants, and I was right, thanks to you, the Bears 8.5.
And you have mine there?
I don't.
Okay, good. Good. I finished a couple under 500. But I had the Bears. No, I swear to God, I got so much. I got more paperwork than a detective back in the day when they actually worked cases in Inglewood.
I love it. Hey, Mike, there's a game about to kick off. So I know you like to go through all of the games for it. Yeah. So I wanted to give you an opportunity. Do you want to comment at all on, I think it's
I would love to comment on them all. I won't take them all this time. I got a couple games I need. I'll give out to people. But yeah, we could start out with Denver-Jacksonville. I think that's the game today.
Okay, thank you. I'm wondering where the hell did it go? Denver, is that the early game? Yeah, 8:30. There it is. Denver and Jacksonville. Yes. What do you think about this game?
Well, first of all, screw them because it's in London and unless you have DirecTV, you got to stream it. So I don't care. Like last Thursday, I didn't watch the Tampa Bay game. I watched Twitter. I bet Louisiana Lafayette the over in the game, and I win it. I had as much fun watching that as streaming Amazon. This is nonsense. I like Denver in the game, though, plus 2.5.
Love it. I got to tell you, Mike, again, I'm agreeing with you. This whole streaming thing is just driving me nuts. I got
to make up the 17th game.
Yeah, exactly.
I have not heard. There's hardly any comment on the Thursday night game anymore on Friday. Mm-hmm. Hardly even talk about it. Carmen and I covered it for 2 minutes. Mm-hmm. You know, yeah, that game's got to be on. That game's got to be on TV. I'm sorry, because they got to make up that 17th game they added. The greedy son of a guns.
By the way, Steve wants you to know that is his real name, me with 2 E's. He will never hide from you. He loves you. And
thank you, buddy.
End of story.
Don't want to see him up there.
Although Jeff says that I should
take even getting a lot of play.
Jeff says that I should take you to the dispensary. You need.
Oh, screw you, you Irish crazy man! What are you out of your mind? Your name's McLaughlin. You were born nuts.
Mike,
I'm not taking a chill pill. Everybody else does. Quinn's gone. Yeah, that's all right. Don't worry about it. Everybody else is lobotomized. I think everybody else is out of energy. That's why they're at a disadvantage with me.
Mike, you're Irish and Italian, right?
Italian, so I know exactly what he's talking about. My mother, the doctor said it's a boy. My mom goes, I'm disappointed. But that's beside the point.
What is that split? Is it 50-50?
Well, no, there might be a little English in the Irish. So I can tell from my teeth, but that's beside the point. I think it's almost half and half. Somebody told me my Uncle Leo took one of those ancestry tests.
Uh-huh.
Now we thought he was full Sicilian. Well, like my mother is full Sicilian. But I did not know, and this is where I acquired my foot speed and my long distance running. I'm 3% Nigerian. Yeah.
Jeepers.
Yeah, I'm gonna start applying as a minority. Hey, what do you mean? What do you mean? I got an SAT score -48. Okay, I'm Nigerian. Okay, come on in.
Maybe that's why you're so tall. Because you're what, 6'2", right?
No, I'm about 6'6.5". But I went to Italy, and I saw they have a bunch of Nigerian, people. I sort of gravitated to them for some reason. Before I knew that I had Nigerian blood in me, they were selling counterfeit Gucci purses. I go, this looks like a good byline. How you guys doing? They just looked at me.
Yeah, that's great. All right, let's talk some more NFL games. This Panthers at Falcons game. I think there's a lot of really interesting games this week in the NFL. This one doesn't interest me that much, though.
I like Atlanta.
You like Atlanta?
I think Atlanta comes back. I think Carolina's so messed up right now. They had the great Sam Darnold. That didn't work out. They get rid of McCaffrey. I think people are going to bite on the fact that Carolina last week, God bless, ruined a lot of people in survivor pools and everything else. I mean, I'm in this Matt Humans pool. I'm like in 14th place out of 13th place out of 16 people.
Mm-hmm.
But it's all top handicappers. I'm 4 games under 500, but like yesterday, I go 1-2. Jimbo Fisher, getting 2, loses by 3. Thanks! But that's beside the point. 1-2. And Atlanta's going to be one of those teams that comes back and wins today. I think Carolina is still gloating over that huge win. Nobody saw it coming. 2 damaging games for the people that have been in survivor pools was the Patriots and was the Tampa Bay Bucks. If you picked them, you were out.
Okay. One of the games that I'm really intrigued at, because next week we play the Dolphins, and of course the Lions are in our division. It's this Miami Dolphins Detroit Lions game with the Lions getting 3.5 points at home. What are your thoughts on this game?
Now, who do we got next week? Miami?
We got Miami in Chicago.
We can beat them. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. There's 26 parity teams, 26 teams around the same with half good, half bad offensive lines, quarterbacks in flux, defense is okay. We can win these games.
Mm-hmm.
Miami, the Campbell experiment will get worn out quickly. His bravado early, loved him, would have loved covering him, sort of like a Ditka type guy, only Ditka knew how to win. Campbell, the bravado stopping, making some puzzling decisions on the sideline. I like Miami today.
Yeah, I like them too, also because of the fast track in Detroit. That stadium has a fast track, and they got those speedy wide receivers. The Dolphins do. Tyreek Hill is probably good for a touchdown today. It's going to be a fun game to I can't watch it because I'll be watching the Bears game. But
I'm going to be watching all of them, but I move around a little bit. But this is a game I think Detroit, is going to lose. And I'll be honest with you. I'm not keeping track of these picks as I only have my big picks at the end, but I'm leaning. What I'll give you is the leans. Okay. You decide what you want to do. I like Miami.
Great. Cardinals and Vikings. And that is the Cardinals are getting 3.5 in Minnesota. This is a tough game to pick.
Arizona, Kingsbury in trouble. But I think they win this football game. I think then we're 2 back. Then we're aggravated, unless we lose to Dallas State, which is a good chance we could. But I like Arizona in this game today. I just think that things are starting to they play better in the second half sometimes. Minnesota right now has done a great job. But they can be beat. Mm-hmm. I mean, they're not beat all end all. There's only a couple teams like Buffalo, Kansas City, maybe you throw in somebody else that are good, that are elite, and then the rest are in a pile.
Mm-hmm. You know, Mike, as I hear you talk, your opening rant, and I'm hearing you talk about these other teams in the division, I'm starting to believe that maybe we do have a shot.
I'm just being honest with what I saw. Wait a minute. Who had us beating San Francisco? Nobody. And then it was, because San Francisco started Lance, because it was rainy, because of this, because of that. Nothing because of the Bears. Then we should have beat the Giants. I blame the Bear team. The players, okay? I don't blame the team that beat us, the Giants. We should have beat you. We should have beat Washington. Rushed for 234 yards. We scored 7 points. That's on Fields. That was a bad game for him, and he's had a couple of them. The Giants, one of them. If he plays better, we win both those games. And the rest of the team. I throw the rest of the team in because that's the way it is. Last week, he made up for one of those losses. But don't tell me you can beat New England, and then what's wrong with New England? What's wrong with San Francisco? No, what's right with the Bears? So my point is, all these teams are meshed together. There's only 2 or 3 good teams. If Minnesota loses today, and we should happen to beat the Bears, fine. And I hope the Quinn trade don't hurt us. But it's a dispirited group going down to Dallas. Not completely happy with a guy taking a plane ride with a guy you were in love with, basically. That was your main guy.
Yeah, yeah. By the way, Tooch had a really nice day in college football yesterday. Look at that.
Atta boy, Tooch.
Man.
Atta boy.
Man.
Look at him.
Nice. Of course, he's got a way to go before he gets your record. What was it, 18-1?
18-1-1. Yeah, but you know what? Tooch is like me. If we have a bad day, like Tooch the other day, he forgot one of the games, but he didn't mean to. He just forgot about it. I told him, hey, aren't you going to? He goes, oh, yeah. I go, thanks, Mike. Like that. We help each other out.
Nice.
But it's very few times when you'll see somebody go 9-1. So credit to Tooch, okay, and he's one of the honest guys up there. There's not too. It's hard to go, and I've done it. It's hard to say. Like last week, I was under 500 on the bar room. It's hard to say that, but you got to say it if you want any credibility, and Tooch has got it.
You got it. All right, Raiders are going down to New Orleans to play the Saints, and the Raiders are giving up a 1.5. Your thoughts?
Boy, this is a crap game, isn't it?
Yeah, wow. It really is.
I mean, the Raiders should be. I mean, I love Josh McDaniel, and New Orleans is lost right now. You know what? I don't have. If I had to lean, they're getting points at home. The Saints, I'd take the Raiders if I had to lean.
And the reason they're probably getting points is because Andy Dalton, of all people, was named the starting quarterback.
But you want to know something? That tells you how bad Winston was. That tells you how bad he is. And you know what? I know. I almost forgot about this. Who's the next big time head coach? Who? Byron Leftwich. He was the offensive coordinator for the Super Bowl Tampa Bay Bucks. No, he wasn't. Tom Brady was. Okay, you're seeing Byron Leftwich now with the Tampa Bay Bucks, as they are, and Brady takes the hit too. But Todd Bowles was the absolute wrong head coach. Why would you hire him? They miss Bruce Arians worse than ever. You hire a defensive coach. Byron Leftwich was supposed to straighten everything out with Tom Brady this year. Neither guy's been on the right page, and there's no more Byron Leftwich for head coaches. That's what happens when you don't. There was a reason he wasn't hired, and I think Tom Brady stole the thunder from him when things were going well.
Yeah. I feel really bad for Todd Bowles because he and Greg Gabriel are really good friends, and Greg has been, advocating for Todd to get another shot at head coaching. But the reality is that his win-loss record as a head coach is awful.
Listen, I respect Coach Gabriel. Me and Coach have talked about Todd Bowles. I told him my feelings. That's the way it goes. Sometimes if you're close with somebody, of course you want them to succeed.
Sure.
I give Coach Gabriel all for sticking with them, but it's not working out. And they're saying that in Dallas. They're saying that on WDAI, Tampa Bay. He followed Arians, but I'm not going to blame just Bowles. But there's undisciplined play going on. The nonsense where Tom Brady walks in whenever he wants. He went to Kraft's wedding. Is Todd Bowles a strong enough coach, or is anybody a strong enough coach to go, hey, you get here and do the walkthrough with every other player? Todd Bowles, to me, is a defensive coordinator.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and a good one.
A damn good one.
Yeah.
Some guys are cut out for that job. I'd almost rather be a defensive or offensive coordinator than the head coach.
Yeah.
To be honest with you. But Todd Bowles doesn't. He's a quiet, unassuming guy who I happen to like. Okay, it's just not working.
Yeah, it definitely is not.
And the Jets thing was a debacle, but when hasn't it been? Yeah. It's hard to blame him just for that. That's why Coach Gabriel wanted them to get this second chance, and this was a good job to get.
Mm-hmm. There was a report that the divorce between Tom Brady and Gisele Bündchen has been finalized. That probably had a lot to do with his slowdown in play, his regression. Yeah. Do you think that now that this is over, we'll see the same Tom Brady we've seen in the past?
First of all, I'm sorry it happened to him. 16 years. It can't be a good day. He definitely has his priorities a little mixed up, like we just talked about. Going to the wedding, spending 2-3 days there. I think what Tom Brady needs is Gronkowski to come back. They lost probably his most pertinent member, his safety valve guy that would give you 7-8 catches, block the crap out of people. They had their Super Bowl. They got it done. Brady did the impossible. I mean, I hear people say he should have stayed in New England. No, he shouldn't have. This opened his legend up by going to a new team in the first year and doing it. But like I said, I'm not only Todd Bowles, but the rest of that coaching staff and the players have been under that thumb of the divorce. Listen, I don't care. My deal on this is, and we talked about this last, If you can work it out, try to work it out. But I understand people can't. Just do the best you can. Try to work it out if you can, because there's no winners at the end of that. There's none.
How many years you been married now, Mike?
I've been married 45, miraculously. But yeah, you try to balance things. And it was hard for me to do, especially the first 10, 15, 20 years. I went from a hot dog guy to the top of the heap, and that's a shock. Forget about these young athletes that make a lot of money. Okay. All of a sudden, that's tough on them because they have no structure. Well, it's even tougher to make all that money when you're 39 all of a sudden, when you didn't even see it coming. So there's adjustments to be made. They're both wealthy, but the kids are going to be okay. I think they've worked it out well. Sort of like Elvis and Priscilla did. They always stayed friends. They went to the divorce court together. Nothing did more for Elvis Presley's image than the way he handled that divorce. He was broken, a broken man at that time. Didn't even want to sing Burning Love. Didn't even want to sing it. Which turned out to be a big hit. But he wasn't in the mood because he was going through a divorce. But they handled everything with class. He kept his last name. He's as big as he ever was. So that one worked out, except for him. Except for him. I think the guy always in a divorce is the guy, you got to watch out. How is he going to handle things?
Right.
Who's going to make his juice shake? Who's going to have the bananas on the table for you to eat? That's what they take care of you.
That's true.
My God.
But when you said juice shake, I got this different image in my.
She makes the avocado shakes. I don't think he gets up in the morning. She's probably got help and stuff. She's not Jesse North. Taking her three kids to gold plants when they're 9, 7, and 6 on the CTA. She's got 7 people helping her, but still, the avocado shake. Who's gonna make that avocado shake?
I think the best advice for Tom Brady comes from Matthew, who says Brady should go drink pina coladas and bang chicks.
You want to know something? Tom Brady, he's got this big deal with Fox. That might be the most boring contract of all time. He will be so boring. He has nothing to say. Got that high voice, and I just want to drink milkshakes and run around. I'm leaving my family because I think we got a shot at the division. I told him I was going to retire. And I don't care. Just play football, baby. It's going to be intriguing to see what happens.
Well, I told you that Stephen Me has a good sense of humor. This is his question for you. Mike, would you leave your wife for Giselle? She's available.
I wouldn't leave my wife for anybody, ever. I wouldn't leave my wife for any amount of money. Eldo knows this. I wouldn't leave my wife for anybody. She saved my life, period. I wouldn't leave her for nobody. That's the honest to God truth. And, thank God the women, see, women make the divorce. And what I say by that is if a woman's unhappy and you can't turn it around, okay, or she doesn't have the temperament to understand the situations, maybe, or she can't, okay, then they're gone. The woman, Giselle moved out. That's it. How's the marriage going? Well, my wife moved out. You don't hear then the next question is, that's great. No, that's not great. She moved out. If the woman wants the divorce badly, 90, I would say as the astute marriage counselor that I am, 99% of the time, Eldo, they're going to get divorced, no matter what the guy does. Am I wrong or right?
You are right, and even Stephen agrees with you. All right, our next game, we were talking about New England, and so let's talk about this Patriots visiting the Jets. The Patriots are giving away 3 points. That, to me, is a bit of a surprise. Now, I know the Jets with their young quarterback, Zach Wilson, are having some issues, but they're winning games. So what do you think about this game?
I would lean the Jets. I think that what I saw from New England, either they didn't take the Bears seriously, or I don't know how you can't when you're the number 1 running team in football, one of the best defensive teams in football. You got one of the great kickers that we've ever had on the Bears with Cairo Santos. I don't know how you don't take him serious, because you read and you listen to the national squares or the local squares that never competed, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I hear people say they're supposed to lose. Did you ever compete? And the people that are on the air that say you're supposed to lose, maybe you weren't supposed to get your job. But you didn't let that stop you. You got to have a winning attitude in life, no matter what's going on. No matter what's going on. I get up every morning, whether I'm handicapped, I'm playing golden tee, or walking the dog, and I try to be the best I can be, period. And I try to do the same thing broadcasting. Don't care what platform I'm on. This is theater in the round. I love this. Bob Crane did Hogan's Heroes. And then you know what he did? No theater in the round. You know what I mean? That's it. And then you got AM 1000. Got the big stage. That's all I need. That's all I need. I got Aldo. Got your pals. You do a good show, and you tell the truth. It's easy.
By the way, did you ever see that movie, Autofocus, about Bob Crane's obsession with pornography?
I love that movie.
It's really good.
They don't want to talk about it, and they don't publicize it. Autofocus is a great movie. Greg Kinnear's outstanding. William Dafoe is tremendous as Bob Crane's pal. Excuse me. The guy that played Schultz and Klumper are spot on. It's a great movie, folks. If you get the chance to see it, Aldo's right. Autofocus.
Autofocus. All right, our next game, another one of the games that intrigues me so much, the Steelers going over to Philadelphia for the Battle of Pennsylvania. Steelers are getting 10.5 points. Your thoughts?
I never thought there was somebody dumber than Nagy until I saw Tomlin. That's all I'm going to tell you. Thank God he had Big Ben, because that guy would be out of the league now. My God. You got a guy that comes back, goes 9 for 12, 144 yards, and then you sit him because of a proposed fight the time before between him and a receiver. Why didn't the receiver get benched? But you decide to send this message, and so you put Pickett, and he's thrown 3 interceptions 2 weeks in a row. They're losing the game because of choice of quarterbacks, period. The 10-6 game they lost that Mitch started, they come back, in my opinion, in the second half. He's got a ton of second half wins in his career. They did the same thing when he came in for Pickett. So if you're a Steelers fan, and all the idiots that I heard on Twitter, Pittsburgh Steelers fans, Mitch would throw an intercept. Let's get Pickett. Well, you got Pickett, and you got Tomlin. Huh? Tomlin without Big Ben? To be honest with you, Tomlin without Big Ben, 500 at best.
Interesting. You know, it is funny, that whole, the whole thing.
It's so familiar. If they let him finish his season, they might do well. It's happened with the Bears. Let him finish the season. Oh my God, it's 10-6. Let's pull him and put in a guy that throws 3 interceptions 2 weeks in a row that's not ready to play. I'm sorry. That's just bad decision making. I mean, I've been paid millions of dollars to observe over my 30 years. As I observed that situation in Pittsburgh, what are you doing? Every division is winnable. It's not the North, though. The AFC is a little tougher. But what are you doing? I mean, it's crazy.
HR must have missed the first 15 minutes of the show because he's asking, Mr. North, have you ever had to set any of the local media clowns straight?
I'm beloved.
HR
decided to make me man of the year. No, they didn't. But if they did, they'd run a phone booth because nobody would show up. And there'd be enough room for a dance floor. But screw them. I mean, they tell you the same crap. Oh, yeah. We're rebuilding, White Sox. We're rebuilding, Bears. The Sox are going to be so good. Eloy and Moncada, they're second to none. Oh, the Bears, you know what? Trubisky stinks. Let's get somebody new. Let's bring in Foles. They keep making wrong decisions, and I just keep sailing along.
There you go. I love it. All right. Our next game on the docket here is the Tennessee Titans getting a point over in Houston where they're playing the Texans. It's just interesting that Lovie Smith is getting has to give away a point. Your thoughts?
Well, because Tannehill's not playing. Now, before that, they were only 1.5. Tennessee was minus 1.5. I got certain teams that are now on my no bet list. Okay. New Orleans is one of them. They've killed me twice. the Chargers with this Herbert kid. I don't give a damn if this is what I'm talking about. You got a great quarterback. Big deal. He throws for stats. He's a stat stuffer, but you don't even get into the playoffs sometimes. Okay, so say they've lost a couple games. For me, New Orleans, LA. There's a couple other teams. Carolina. They're on my. If Houston loses today, they're on my no more bet list. I'm going to take Houston. Hopefully, they'll be getting 3 in this football game. But I see now they're not going to get 3. In fact, they're giving away a point. I'm taking Houston. That's a big red flag. Tennessee. And for people that think Tannehill, see, I always compare Tannehill and Trubisky. Just regular guys. Tannehill's important to Tennessee. He was they were the number 1 seed, not just because they can run the ball. It's a good quarterback. He has his ups and downs, just like a lot of quarterbacks. But I like Houston today.
Talking about Lovey reminded me of the University of Illinois is playing some really good football. How about it? Huh?
I mean, yeah, I'm very happy for them. Nebraska got dominated. I'm happy for the Illini. Bulimia, is that his name? Or is that oh, wait, that's a disease. Bulima. Bielema. I don't know. I like that guy.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
He's brought a whole new
wife. You ever see his wife?
No.
Check it. Go to him right now. I'll wait. Go to Brett, whatever it is. Bieleman or something. Check out the wife.
Okay. Let's see.
Is that fine?
Oh my goodness.
That's a guy. Huh?
Yeah.
My God.
Hold on. Let me see if I can get a better picture, but
Yeah,
I'll put it up on the screen.
The guy's not only number 1 in the for Illinois getting it done, but he gets it done at home, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, indeed. Very beautiful blonde woman, and yeah, he's got good taste in wives.
There you go. Hello again, everybody.
Very
good for you, Brett.
Yeah, really. Man.
God bless. Don't tell me I don't know my head coaches.
He's probably very good at recruiting, right? She looks like she's 20 years younger.
God bless him.
Rams and 49ers. It's in Ram Stadium, and this is 0.5 is what the Rams are getting half a point.
Yeah, that's a pick. San Francisco's had great. My 2 picks are going to be Houston and the Los Angeles Rams. I know the Rams haven't played that well. Stafford looks a little bit now this year like Matt Ryan has looked. And he's sitting, you know. But I like the Rams today. Even though they're a Super Bowl team, they might be another team if they don't win on my no bet list next. The bet and I bet them before I found out Tannehill was going to be out for Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm betting the Rams before I found out Deebo Samuel, their best playmaker on the 49ers, is going to be out. But I'm sticking with my 2 picks as that's what I got in the pools. Those are 2. Maybe one more that I got for everybody.
Okay.
Sam Ellisberg, okay, or whatever his name is.
With the Colts?
Yeah.
Sam Ellinger, yeah.
Yeah. They're -3.
Mm-hmm.
So Ryan's out. And I'm saying to myself, did they see something in practice? And then I started looking and started doing it. Indy's gonna cover this game. Those are my 3 picks. Indy,
Excellent.
the Rams, in Houston.
Excellent.
Indy, the Rams, in Houston. And by the way, are the Bears? Maybe some of the Bears are watching. They got us on Twitter and stuff. There's no doubt some of the Bears. Let's go. 10-point dogs. What do you think they're pushing around? We're 10-point dogs after we beat New England? They got Dak Prescott. Oh, yippee! Is Staubach back? Is Calvin Hill playing? Is Dwayne Thomas on the roster? Is Jethro? Is Heathcote still there? Is Todd Jones playing defensive end? My God. Is Cliff Harris playing safety? Huh? Is Dan Reeves at running back? That's how far back I go back. Dan
Not
Reeves.
really.
Is Eddie LeBaron playing quarterback for him? He was their opening quarterback. Back in 62, I was there. I watched it.
Look at that. Great job. By the way, I love the prop bet Sam Ellinger to score a rushing touchdown plus 332. That's what that guy did. Yeah, that's what that guy did in Texas.
$25 down, you win 75, 80.
Yeah, that's what he did in Texas. He never threw for touchdown passes. He ran them. He's like another running back. So yeah. I like that prop bet. All right, we got two more here, and then we'll put a plug on this one. It's Giants at Seahawks. I'm surprised that the Giants are getting 3 points. You know, everybody's talking about the Giants but you like the Seahawks as a team, don't you?
I like them as a team. I just said that they were supposed to be rebuild. Everybody makes fun of Carroll, said it was not, he's not a good coach. The hell he's not. I like the Giants, though, in this game. If I had to lean, I like what this Daboll guy has. I wanted Daboll before our coach, but that's fine. We got a good coach. I think that they keep saying this about the Giants. Boy, the Giants are sort of, I don't know how they're doing it. They're doing it with mirrors. No, they're not doing it with mirrors. They're winning almost every game. Jones does enough to get him to. Is that Todd Jones dead?
I guess so. Let me.
No, he's not.
I
just saw. Did he die recently? I just saw him at an outing in Barrington. I was hosting it in a Hall of Fame.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Let me see. Todd Jones is still alive and 71 years old.
Jabari, if I've told you once, I've not told you 1,000 times. Know your black athletes. Why does Pasty have to correct you on things? I was just with that.
Why does Pasty have to correct you?
I just was sitting down at dinner with that Todd Jones, so I knew and by the way, his demeanor nice and quiet. I said, you know what? The one game I can't forget. I'm with David Spada, who, by the way, will play a David Spada spot here in just a minute. At the end, who's been a great sponsor. But I'm joking around. I'm at the dinner table. I'm sitting with Jimbo Covert, Ed Todd Jones, who recently passed on, according to my guy. No, he didn't. And I go, boy, it was a great game. The 44-0 Bear game. The guy stopped. The guy stared at me for 2 minutes. He wanted to flip the table on me. Jimbo kept elbowing me.
Don't make him angry.
Because you know what? They were worse than Green Bay to me.
Yeah.
Green Bay, I know, I respected them. Dallas dominated us. Yeah. And then they traded us their bad players. Like they traded us like Golden Richards.
Yeah, right.
Greg Bainham. All these Dallas guys that were done. We would pick them up and they'd be absolutely done.
Yes.
Who's that guy limping? That's the wide receiver we got from Dallas. That's how it went.
Yeah. Speaking of David Spada, let's play that ad that you recorded decades ago, but is still pertinent today.
If you're injured at work, don't try to be a hero and work in pain. Immediately tell your boss how you were injured and seek medical treatment. Then call my guy, attorney David Spada, to make sure that your rights are protected. David will fight for the payment of your medical bills, lost wages, and settlement. Insurance companies and employers have individuals representing their interests. Why not you? You must have an experienced attorney on your side. All fees are contingent upon your recovery. Call David Spada at 847-729-COMP. That's 847-729-2667.
Oh, David. And by the way, we appreciate the support we've been getting from our little snippets that we've been doing. I suggested to Eldo, maybe one day we just get up. I go, Bears got to get better. And then we just make a snippet and we say goodbye to everybody. But no, we do an hour show. Eldo picks out a snippet that he likes. He puts it up and that's it. But David Spade is a good friend. Appreciate David, the sponsorship.
All right. And before we get out of here, I just need to get your thoughts on the Packers at Buffalo. This is going to be an ass kicking, isn't it?
Well, I would take the money line, but it's got to be astronomical. It's still Aaron Rodgers, but I mean, Green Bay getting 10.5. Who envisioned that? They're gonna. They should beat the crap out of them. I mean, so when Aaron Rodgers gets sacked, he gets laid down gently, he can complain and all this garbage. But they will win the game, but I wouldn't do nothing on it. Too many points. Hey, Aaron Rodgers giving them 11 points, a lot of points.
Jabari says, I meant that he used to kill most.
Oh,
He says, come on, Mike, don't do me like that. I know my black athletes. Way to go, Jabari.
Let me tell you something, Jabari. I worked for the Chicago Defender. I was vetted for 3 hours. Okay. I was the only white writer, sports writer they've ever had at an all black newspaper, right? I was covering Dusty, covering them all. And I got you there a little bit. I thought the way it sounded, RIP, had Too Tall Jones. But I'll tell you what, great play. You know what? This dinner I was at, and then we'll go. Aldo remembers this guy. It's good to see all these ex-Hall NFL guys, and aren't all Hall of Famers. Jim Osborne, number 68, was there.
Yeah, great defense.
I gave him a. He goes, nobody ever introduced me like that. He goes, you were my guy. You know, Kirk Gibson was there at no, Jim Osborne.
Wow.
That's what happens when you get a Chicago guy to host a Hall of Fame thing.
Yeah.
So that's it. I'm exhausted. I think the first segment took it out of me.
It was a fantastic, great segment. So
we had a lot of fun. We got a lot of big plans coming up, man. Eldo and I got something special we're going to announce in a week or two. We're back on the horse.
Oh, yeah, baby. All right, make sure you stay tuned for Barfly Tailgate Show. Goodbye, everybody.